Greetings. I come to you all today with some disturbing news. I am not sure if you have heard this yet or not, but the Doomsday plane had recently landed in Washington, D.C., under the cover of night, earlier this week. If you haven't ever heard about it, I will explain to you what exactly the Doomsday plane is and why it is so significant that it had recently landed in D.C. The Boeing E-4B Nightwatch, nicknamed the Doomsday plane or Flying Pentagon, is a highly modified Boeing 747 operated by the U.S. Air Force. It serves as the National Airborne Operations Center, NAOC, or Airborne National Command Post during nuclear war or national emergencies. It can withstand nuclear, thermal, and EMP effects and uses analog flight instruments to resist cyber attacks. It holds around 110-112 personnel with workspaces, briefing rooms, rest areas, and over 60 satellite dishes, antennas for secure global communications. With mid-air refueling, it can remain in the sky for 35-plus hours, and in theory, up to a week. 4 were built in the 1970s. Replacements are in development under a $13 billion modernization program. Now, why did it land in Washington, D.C. earlier this week? But before moving forward, I wanted to quickly pause for a moment to ask if you are yet a follower of mine. If not, you should be. I post these kinds of videos, and one similar to it, every single day. It landed at Joint Base Andrews near Washington, D.C., after a flight from Louisiana, landing late Tuesday evening. Its arrival coincides with rising tensions in the Middle East, especially between the U.S., Iran, and Israel, and rumors of a potential U.S. military strike on Iran. The flight path was unusual and the plane used an odd call sign, Order 01 versus its typical Order 6, fueling speculation it's no routine drill. Analysts interpret the move as a sign the U.S. is on high alert, prepared to maintain command and control even during a crisis, maybe as a deterrent signal to Iran. Now, what does all of this indicate? Timing coincides with potential military action in Iran. Unusual flight deviation from routine routes and call sign adds urgency. Strategic messaging show of readiness to both domestic leadership and foreign observers. Operational capability ensures U.S. leadership remains functional even if D.C. were targeted. Dear friends of mine, this is serious. I do not mean to scare you, but I cannot stress enough to you at just how significant this is. The United States is positioning itself so that the government can stay in place. They don't just do this for no reason. They actually believe that there is a strong possibility that something so catastrophic could happen, and to me, that means that at any moment we may come under attack on our homeland, and to the point of which we need the Doomsday plane. That signals to me that we may be on the eve of all-out nuclear war. I cannot believe I am even saying all of this. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing guaranteed. There may still come a peace deal, meaning all-out surrender by Iran. Trump is not interested in a ceasefire. It ends our way no matter what. They surrender, and we go from there, or the U.S. gets directly involved. What worries me the most is this. We have seen on satellite that China has sent cargo planes to Iran. What that means? I am not sure. Both China and Russia are allies with Iran. Iran produces a third of all the oil distribution around the entire world. China is trying to completely erase all American influence over there. If we take Iran, I would think that the United States may completely take over that country. Don't quote me on that, but you never know, and both China and Russia will not allow that. So, at what lengths would they go to in order to prevent that? Will they consider using nuclear weapons against us? If they do, the American population may find themselves forced into living a completely different way. Many of you talk tough and say you're ready, but how will you react when the bomb sirens go off? And the catastrophic images that we see on TV are now happening before our very eyes. How will you react then? 2 weeks, Trump says. 2 weeks before he makes his next move. I can't imagine his stress levels right now. The weight of the world, possibly the fate of the world, it all rests on his shoulders. My advice to all of you is to get right with Jesus right now. Trust in our president. It is for times like this that we put this man in office. Trust him, support him, and let the man work. I believe the Lord saved him from multiple assassinations and let him lose the 2020 election for this very moment. The Lord allowed him to win in 2016 so that he could learn the art of being president, to build up the proper experience, then allowed all the negative events to happen to our country to motivate its people to get out to vote in 2024, all for this moment. That is what I believe. If nuclear bombs come roaring our way, the bold reality is this: there is nowhere to go, and we will be on our own. I say this, pray, just pray. That is all for now. I love you all, truly I do. Be safe. This is Michael Leonard signing off.